So if you're fasting or you're just drinking juice, I don't care if it's from the most beautiful, pristine, organic celery that anyone has ever grown. You do this process without properly supporting your natural physiologic pathways, you're going to increase your oxidative stress. You're going to increase the harm that you're doing at the cellular level. And when that accumulates over time, there's disease names for that, like cancer, heart disease. This is not just nothing. Hey everyone, it's Dr. O'Brien. I am a medical doctor located in Frisco, Texas. I have a functional medicine practice, and I am doing these videos because I think that we need to correct the narrative around what is natural, alternative, complementary, functional, whatever word you want to use in front of the word medicine, and get that straight. Like, what is it? What's real? What's quackery? Everyone's trying to tell you what you should do. You should join this gym and you should do this program and you should buy this thing that my sister-in-law sells. Or you should, go and do a juice cleanse from all the places that will sell you one. They're expensive. Or you know what? Just fast. Just do a water cleanse and you feel so much better. You might, but you probably won't. So let's talk about detoxes and the conversations around what are you detoxing anyways, right? Like, what is that? Go to the library, go to a bookstore, go on the internet, go to Google, dear God, go to AI and ask about a detox and you'll get inundated with sources. But what is it? And do you really need one? And when and who? And how do you know if you're safe to do it? All right, so let's start with this. Detoxification happens all day, every day, and every single one of us. It is not something that you just do on an occasion and then something magical happens in your body. All day, every day, the body is taking whatever is in you. Endotoxins, end product of metabolism, bacterial endotoxins. What does that mean? This is not like, a mycotoxin. Oh, I have mold. Or, a heavy metal. That's not what we're talking about. It is the things, the products of being alive, the end products of that. I always tell my patients, I want you to think of yourself like a very efficient machine. All machines have some kind of a waste product. There's exhaust. It's a dirty process to be alive. Detoxification is at a cellular level. It starts at the cellular level, and then you get an overall impact on your organism, on your whole person, on your health. Cellularly, and every different part of the body, the waste may be a little bit different, but overall, it has to get out. And when it doesn't, bad things happen, and those diseases have names. But let's talk about this. I love talking about the liver. My favorite picture is the purple liver picture. I show it to my patients all the time. We start with a toxin. We have to go through phase 1 detoxification, and those are cytochrome P450 enzymes. Those enzymes are encoded in your DNA, which makes you very different from everybody else. You have them, maybe. How do they function? Don't know. But they impact everything that you eat and metabolize, especially the medications that you take or the supplements that you ingest. They have to act on everything that you come into contact with. Imagine that somebody takes a particular drug and they have the opposite effect. Or when people say, oh, I cannot take that, it makes me so sick. Why? That's why. And imagine that cytochrome P450 doesn't just act on the medication or a supplement or a toxin or a chemical. It acts on the food you eat. And so there are drugs that will say, don't eat this with this particular medication. Why? Because it impacts the way that it's metabolized. Who cares? Because it may drive that drug out of your system so quickly that you don't get the max effect of it. Or it may slow it down so much that drug raises, the drug will rise to a toxic level. That'll get you. Through the first pass of cytochrome P450, that is all genetically encoded. It either works great, it doesn't work so great, it overworks, or it doesn't work at all. Who knows? What you create at the end of that first step, called an intermediary metabolite here in the center of the picture, that intermediary metabolite is even more oxidative, harmful, injurious, a bad actor, whatever word you want to use, than whatever you started with. To finish the job, you have to be able to do all of those processes that are listed under phase 2, the conjugation pathways, where we have to take another molecule and stick it on to whatever we just created after phase 1. So it's like A turns into B, and B is kind of a bad actor, and we'd like to escort him out of the building. But you have to have something to tag B with and escort him out. And I want you to look closely at phase 2, because phase 2 is food. Phase 2 is amino acids. Phase 2 is all of these processes in the body that have to work well in order to escort that bad actor the hell out of your body. You have to eat in order for detoxification to work. It is an energy requiring process, meaning you will burn calories to do this. So if you're fasting or you're just drinking juice, I don't care if it's from the most beautiful, pristine, organic celery that anyone has ever grown. If you do this process without properly supporting your natural physiologic pathways, you're going to increase your oxidative stress. You're going to increase the harm that you're doing at the cellular level. And when that accumulates over time, there's disease names for that, like cancer, heart disease. This is not just nothing. So if we're going to induce a detoxification process, don't do it with nothing, with water. Do it with food. Do it with the right food. Do it with the right food. What makes it right? Because it has the actual amino acid composition that's required to support your natural physiology. And if you try to BS that, if you try to go around that, the body's not interested in that playfulness. It's not interested in it. And what you'll end up doing is you'll drive phase 1 of detoxification. You will light up these little bang, pow, boom symbols that are on the purple liver picture, these reactive oxides. And it says, tissue damage and free radicals. That's shaped that way to bring your attention to the fact that this is a dirty process. There is exhaust from this system, and it's injurious to your body. It isn't if you're healthy. It isn't if you're actually feeding yourself. It isn't if you actually have proper nutrition so that you can go through phase 1 and then phase 2 and then out of the body and goodbye, see you later. Perfect. And that's what a genuine detox is. It's just supporting, it's pushing those pathways by tuning up what you eat. Can you get the crap that you eat out of your diet that glums up the system so that it goes a little bit better? Yes. And will you feel better? Yes. And most people that do it, this is not easy, by the way. An actual detoxification done properly, you have to eat a certain way. You have to move your body. You have to make sure that you're having bowel movements, because if you don't, guess what? Everything that you just liberated, physiologically, biochemically, it's not out of your body because you're not pooping or you're not peeing. You have to stay hydrated. You have to make sure that you're actually moving your bowels. So who and why? Who would do a detox and why? I think starting the year with a proper metabolic detoxification is a great idea if you understand your state of health and you are supported in that appropriately. If you're healthy and you decide that you want to do a detox, you could probably do a lot of the kooky, crazy things that are out there, and you might be fine. You probably will be fine. But why? Like, what are the requisites to be able to do a detox, and handle it well? I mean, you have to be healthy. Otherwise, you have to be very careful with what you do, because this is physiology. This isn't just, when my sister-in-law sells this product and whatever, or, Nectar tells me that I should come get my, juice cleanse kit and do that, or whoever. I just happen to see those two all the time. So I'm using them as examples. Sorry, Nectar, I love your stuff and I buy your products, but not your detoxes. Let's just say we take somebody who doesn't normally eat really well. They've gained a little bit of weight. They're concerned about it. They're fatigued a little bit more than usual. And they decide, I think I need to do a detox. If you do that and you don't eat, meaning you don't provide the cellular energy to the system, you're going to make yourself sick. You might not feel it. Nobody feels their oxidative stress rising or their cardiovascular health tanking. You don't feel that. You don't feel yourself going towards burnout until you're really close to burnout. And then you're like, I think I'm burning out. Too late, sister. You can't turn the bus around now. It's too late. There are people that should not do a detoxification. Who are those people? People that have a legitimate history of a legitimate toxic exposure. You don't want to just go liberating stuff in the body if you don't know what you're doing. It's the same reason why people shouldn't just go get hooked up to an IV with glutathione. Yes, I said that. You should not just go get hooked up to an IV and get glutathione. That molecule is very important and very impactful, and you shouldn't just go willy-nilly jamming anything into your vein. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen that we do that. I have to write an order for that to happen as a physician, but you can get it at the local IV drip bar or wherever the hell else people go. Don't do that to yourself, and don't go ingesting just any powder and think that you're, doing a liver cleanse. Okay, side note rant over, maybe. Use something that guides you to do this physiologically and safely. And so I want you to consider that this particular event, the opportunity to either do a detox or not, should you? Do you need to? I would look at it as this. It's a fantastic opportunity to clean up your diet, to get rid of the things that don't serve you because they don't serve anybody, right? Crappy food, processed stuff, soda, whatever. Cleaning yourself out is a great idea, and doing that with nothing else, I would still applaud it because it's a wonderful thing to do for your body. It's a gift. Do it. Could you do a detoxification without a product? You could, but that's a lot of food. It's a lot of food. And to get the clinically pertinent, impactful component of any particular food, the amount that you'd have to ingest is usually greater than what you could possibly eat. A good example is broccoli. To get the medicinal properties of what is in broccoli that makes it an antioxidant. I'm not going to get into the biochemistry today because we'll talk about it in another short. You'd have to eat 5 pounds of broccoli. That's not going to happen. If you can afford to support yourself, that is indicated only because we can't eat enough of the foods that would support detoxification alone. It happens every day, yes, but if you're going to actually kind of load the system, if you can imagine on that diagram on the side where it says toxins, right? I think of it as a push. I'm standing on the side of the diagram that says toxins, and I want to help push that process. What am I pushing? What am I really pushing? The crap I eat, the chemicals that are probably stored in my body just from being alive and living in this generation and the things that we come into contact with. But, what happens over time when we live that way is we have started to accumulate some things in the body that we would like to escort out. The body does the best it can on the average Tuesday. Don't just do a cleanse like a juice cleanse or a water fast or any other version if you aren't going to couple it with the care in your body to help it. Do some sauna. Sit in a hot bath with Epsom salt. That is cheap. It's practically free. Epsom salt is so cheap. Sit in a tub with some Epsom salt and just let your body let go. Take some magnesium. Magnesium glycinate is not an expensive supplement. And taking that to be sure that you're having 2 bowel movements a day, it may help you. If you increase your water intake, you increase your fiber, preferably in the form of a vegetable that looks pretty close to how it did when it came out of the ground, meaning I don't really want you to batter it and fry it. That's not a vegetable really anymore. Give your body what it needs and watch what it can do. There's a reason why we consider those foods healthy. Why? Because they give us what we need to do what we have to do at the cellular level. But if we're going to do what I call a metabolic detoxification and provide that support for the liver to go from phase 1 all the way through phase 2 and out and eliminated, there are products that are better than others. My recommendation, because I get asked this a lot, right? Should I do a detox? What do you think of this product? The detox that I like the best is Dynamic Detox by Nutridyne. I think we'll put a link below for you to go look at it if you want to. I like it because why? If I tell you that tulips are good for you, and that's all I tell you, tulips are good for you. How do you know what part of the tulip is good for you? I just said tulip. So you don't know. You have to actually know, well, what is the medicinal part of tulip that makes it good for me? And how much of that do I need to take? Or how many tulips do I need to eat to get that functional amount? That is why I like Dynamic Detox by Nutridyne. I like the fact that The things that are clinically active, that are clinically impactful, are at a level that's actually clinically impactful. It doesn't just say tulip. How much tulip? The medicinal part of the tulip? So you can put what I call window dressing on lots of supplements and lots of products. Oh, it has that, and that's really good for us. I don't know, is it? The dynamic detox kits come with a shaker, so you can just make the stuff up. It comes in chocolate and vanilla. But the more important thing is there's an actual pamphlet that tells you, what are you going to eat on day 1, on day 2? It's induction. Before you start jamming stuff into your body that's designed to physiologically impact you, understand what it's going to do to your body. Let's use the best products when they're indicated at clinically efficacious dosages and time periods for your best, with knowledge and support. If you have any questions, you can always post a question and I will answer you. You can send a private DM through Instagram, Facebook, my webpage. Certainly, I want, if you like what I have to say or you like the way I deliver it, or if you don't, I really do want your feedback. But if you like it, I would love to have you like and subscribe. There's some button somewhere around here that you can push. Because I'm doing this to just raise education. I have no dog in the hunt other than I want the best for people. And I think that what's happening in the landscape of health is shifting towards something other than that. With love always, Happy New Year, and I will see you soon.